Greetings and prepare for the amazing. What you will see is great racing. Competitors with skills from front to back. Watch as they go up and down the pack. Please enjoy the racing at its best. Battles wage from first to last. The action is wall to wall. GT45 covers it all. We're all here to be entertained. These drivers go hard and not restrained. Cheer for your favorite, you will not regret. The spectacle you watch, you will never forget. Please enjoy the racing at its best. Battles wage from first to last. The action is wall to wall. GT45 covers it all. GT45 covers it all. Please enjoy the racing at its best. Battles wage from first to last. The action is wall to wall. GT45 covers it all.
Hello, hello, welcome back everybody. Stint 6 coming up. Alright, everything's working. Love that. Love that. Alright, so back at it here again. We're just getting ready for stint number 6. We're about ready to make our way towards the halfway mark here from the International Racing Organization, GTEC 2026, 24 hours in Nurburgring. And I mean, what a race so far, right? I mean, what else can we say? So we are just waiting, look like for something to happen here. I missed something. Anyways, we're going with the flow. Welcome back. The other stint is still underway here, so with that being said, I'm just holding down the fort until we're underway, essentially. So you're getting a little bit of a sneak peek at what happens in behind the scenes, typically, when we have our full production schedule in motion. But currently that process is under maintenance, as we're going to call it. So get ready to rock and roll. I mean, what else can we say? It should be very interesting. Is giving me a hard time here. I'm just trying to see where we're at with the actual race itself. this driver right here. I don't know if we have working replays or not, ladies and gentlemen. I guess we'll have to wait and see. A few minutes away here, but as well. Alright, so our formation lap is underway here, so for anybody that's tuning in over here early, that's exactly what we have going on. This is how we get the drivers from race start into pit lane, so we can do the driver swap within our game platform here in Gran Turismo 7. This is raced on PlayStation 5, and this is how we navigate around the driver swap issue here within the game, the blackout feature, I guess, so to speak. So the drivers are going to go at full speed, single file, all the way around the racetrack at, I believe it's 80 miles per hour. And once they get at the end of this lap, all the drivers will come into pit lane. And instead of doing what you would normally do when you come into pit lane, say select your tires and then wait for the fuel man to start going and tell him to stop, you just do nothing. You set your controller down, or you don't touch your steering wheel buttons, whatever the case may be, and you just wait. And what you're waiting for is for Nolander's lobby, which is currently live right now on Nolander's live stream, for your team driver to come in to pit lane and come to a complete full stop in their pit box before they can be released, and that's usually done by voice communication within each team. However it is that they operate their system. And then the driver in this lobby, which we're about to see here get underway live in a few minutes time, this is live now currently, will take off, and that is our quote-unquote driver swap. It's unlike other platforms like iRacing, Assetto Corsa, and I'm not sure about LME, where the driver swap feature is built right into the game. You don't have to do it the way that we're doing it. However, GT7 does not have that same feature built into the game, so we've had to work a way around that issue, and this is how we felt it and have seen the best result from to get around that driver swap issue. So It's a little bit wonky. It takes a lot of hands on deck. So first and foremost, shout out to everybody behind the scenes that we're not seeing on screen or hearing talking here today, for all the hard work and effort that you do weekend in and weekend out for these championships. It's not easy. We know you're there. We hear you. We love you. We appreciate you. And we can't do it without the volunteers. So lots of hearts up in the chat for the volunteers, because they are the heart and soul of what goes on here all season, every season, on top of all the regular head honchos, officials, stewards, commentators, and everything else that's going on. Races, race teams, the list goes on and on and on, right? So, but the volunteers, they get the shout out, they get the love, because they're the ones that make the wheels go around at the end of the day. We can't do it without them, so appreciate them. Free, we understand that. But it does provide for such great racing so far, has it, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, we have seen some great championship racing, in my opinion. So far this season, we've seen a very dominant team here so far this season, and for those of us that are coming from the other side of the stream will know exactly what's going on. I don't know really what's going on, because again, I've been super busy this weekend. I'm stretching like 3 different places at once. I got lots of things going on all at the same time. Love it when that happens, but we always enjoy our racing here from the IRO, so. I'll say 25 minutes before we officially get underway over here, so settle in. You have lots of time to get into the sweet spot in your kitchen, your living room, or your bedroom, or your back deck, wherever it may be, where you're chilling and hanging out with us here tonight. But I think we're in for a good race all 24 hours, I really do. So I'm just like the rest of the viewers out there right now. I'm just hanging out, waiting, watching what's going on currently right now in the actual live race stint. So as we get our drivers set up for the driver swap here on this side of things, I'm watching what's going on the hot side of things right now on No Lander Stream. And boy, what a doozy of a race we got going on. I'm excited, folks. I'm excited. We should have a race right out of pit lane here, I think, today. So moving into hour number 10. These drivers have been slogging, and there's still 14 hours of racing left for these teams here on the racetrack here yet today. And we've already seen a little bit of rain here so far today, and well, we'll see what Mother Nature provides here over the next couple hours, in the dark nonetheless. Alright, so these guys are about halfway around their formation lap, as we call it, here right now. So it's going to be, like I said, about 15-20 minutes here before we're fully underway over here. So again, the hot action is over at No Lander Gaming on YouTube right now. And it's spicy. It's looking good. It's looking good. And you know, it always goes down like this here at IRO too. It seems like I said, the first 2-3 racing rounds are a little shaky for teams just to get their feet wet, to kind of get used to each other, used to a rhythm, get into a team function. And then once they settle into that rhythm and that groove, then things really start to get racy. And we're seeing that. I mean, we've seen that last round as well. I mean, it's only going to get better and better, I think, as the season progresses and as the tracks get less complicating in a sense as well. I mean, obviously this is a very difficult racetrack on a scale of 1 to 10. It's like a 9.2, 9.3, something maybe. I mean, maybe I'm overshooting, maybe I'm undershooting. I'm not sure, but on a difficulty scale over 24 hours, I think it's definitely up there. Anyways. We're about 10 minutes away. They're like taking our like desired racing line on the formation lap and everything. Talk about like being in a rhythm right now. You know, that's a sign of a driver that's locked in. We're definitely keeping our eyes on that car here over the next couple hours. Just the sheer, what's the word I'm looking for here? Focus that some of the drivers have, and it kind of shows in the attitude of the formation lap. You know, I'm just kind of looking at each driver as they're going through the camera shots and seeing what they're doing, and I'm kind of getting a basis on what to potentially expect early on in the stint from those racers. And it's interesting. It's interesting. I've been around long enough now to kind of understand what the attitude of the car is telling you based on the driver that's piloting the car is thinking, you know, sometimes, not always, but sometimes. There's fire in the belly of some of these racers here today. There's definitely some fire in the belly right now. Alright, so now this is the point where we set up the driver swap. So the cars are in pit lane now. They're gonna, or coming to pit lane. They're going to pull into pit lane, pull into their pit box, respectively. Lollipop Man's gonna drop the sign to tell them to stop here, and that is where they're going to sit until their teammates come into pit lane in the current running lobby, which is getting very close here to finishing up over the next few minutes. So if you're preparing your snacks or you're tucking the kids in, whatever the case may be, definitely do it quickly because the action is about to get underway. This is family friendly right here too for the next couple hours as well. And I'm your host, GT45 Gaming. Appreciate you all tuning in. Let's see if we still got what it takes to be a commentator in Gran Turismo 7, shall we? Now, hopefully my keyboard's giving us some replay function now. That would be beautiful. I could probably test this theory, I suppose. I could have tested this theory, I suppose, before all the drivers got into pit lane. Now, we're just going to have to wait to see. Action will be commencing soon. It's just a waiting game now, ladies and gentlemen. So how do we know when things are underway, you might ask? Well, one, we'll flip to the big screen, and two, we'll start to see these gentlemen change the tires on this red 224 Ferrari, the NWR Motorsports crew here in the lead of this race currently, and with a pretty tidy little cushion right now, I believe, as they're coming into pit lane, a little over a minute, just a little under a minute and a half. So they're going to come in with some wiggle room, which is always good at this point in the race. Especially, we're going to be nearing the midway point of the race, and just as we're talking about it, we're underway. So as I promised, the big screen and the full racing action for everybody right here live at GT45 Gaming International Racing Organization GTEC 2026 Stint number 6. And it is NWR Motorsports leading the 24 hours of Nurburgring here today. So here they are off, and the Ferrari is leading the charge here now. So what a storybook so far as we're nearing the, well, as we start to move towards the 11-hour mark of the race. We're 10 hours in at this point, and the racers have only just begun. So this is a race of attrition. It's nighttime. It's you've got your drivers that have basically shown the best ability around the racetrack in its nighttime through testing to be behind the wheel during this phase of the race, and the really large objective is not to obviously lose any positions, try to gain any positions if possible. If you're in the position of the 224 team right now, your goal is to continue to work on the lead, the gap for the lead. Try to just get to the point where you don't need to worry about what's happening in the rest of the race, and just bring the car home in one piece, nice and safe and sound. Just keep a nice smooth team rhythm, and right now that's what the NWR Motorsports team is working on, and we're going to see probably a cool, calm, collected, consistent pace. Now, whatever that pace may be from this team, is going to be what it is, but they're going to be looking for that to be very consistent here over the next couple hours, and that's going to, or should anyways, at least maintain the fairly nice cushion that they built here over the last little while here in the race. We'll be sticking with our leading car here for a little bit until the rest of our guys start getting out. As they start to cycle out, we will start to go and see coming out, and it is our current defending champions here, OVO Esports, the 111 Porsche, now out on track. So 1 minute and 35 seconds overall in behind that race leader right now. They definitely got their work cut out for them if they want to win this 24-hour event, but they still have lots of time on the clock, a little under 14 remaining. The Feel Good Racing Porsche here still sitting in third place. The 303 car that was leading a very large part of the race for the early hours of the race, and then did lose that battle to the number 7 Sector 7 Esports Racing team there right at the end of the 4-hour mark. So currently sitting in third place here at the moment on the racetrack as well. Back to our race leader here while we wait for the remainder of our teams to get out on track. Alright, so it's hard to stay in the zone, I guess is what I'm looking for here. When you're in the position, this team here currently, you've got a 90-second gap right now over second place, so over the field, plus depending on where the driver is on the position board, and it's easy to get complacent, I guess, and complacency can get you into trouble here sometimes. So you know, it's going to be interesting now to see when you're in that zone of nothingness where you're just driving. Some people just really flow with that well, but some people, you know, your mind wanders, you get distracted easily, and you make little mistakes here and there, and then you start costing yourself time. So I mean, you have to really work together as a team, crew over the radio, so to speak, to keep things exactly in the right flow. Not say too much, but make sure you say enough, you know, over the radio as well. So and you have to check on your driver. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to check on your driver, regardless of whether you're virtually sim racing or not. But it's still a lot of work. It's hard work, and it's always good to check on your driver. Alright, so the Elite Racing Squad, number 73 BMW here, currently sitting in 4th place right now. And the BMW has been showing some strength here, but just unable to find themselves on the podium here currently right now. 48 seconds back of that podium, but they are in a good position here, sitting in 4th place. That takes us to our number 7, the Sector 7 Racing team here. And they are currently 48 seconds in behind 4th place, sitting in 5th place here. So not too bad here. They got themselves still up in the top half of the pack, but definitely find themselves trailing a little bit here. But we've seen this team, not only this season but last season, make some pretty big drives in pretty important moments, and all of a sudden things change later in the race. So you can never count that number 7 car out, is what we're saying here. We've got GT Finland number 66 car, I believe, here currently right now as well. And they've done some work here over the last few hours to get themselves back up in the top half of the field here in 6th place as well. So looking solid here is the GT Finland racing team, I believe, without being able to actually see the number on the car, but I believe that is our 66 Porsche right now. I mean, it's dark out, we're going to go with it. We made some adjustments for the visuals to try and let you guys see it a little bit better, but we didn't want to overdo the exposure so it's blinding you while you're watching it on your screen at the same time. Alright, this will be our Inferno Motorsports team here, our number 27 BMW as well. Sitting in 7th place, currently only 2.5 seconds in behind our 66 car here, as well as GT Finland Racing just up in front. So it should be maybe a developing battle, and the time is coming down a little bit. So we're going to keep our eye on that 6-7 spot here for a minute. Don't start, chat. Didn't mean to do it. Alright, our defending championship, number 1 team, the Esports Race Asylum car here, is 6.3 seconds in behind that number 27 BMW right now on the racetrack in 8th place. And they have a 24-second gap over the 54 Porsche here by my team Esports here as well. So 19 seconds is not terrible at all, and we've got a X amount of gap over the next current racer coming out on track, whether it be Project 1 or Esports at this point. But it is NWR Motorsports here leading the charge in a minute 35 is that gap. It's holding solid, it's holding constant, and that is what they've got to work with here so far at the beginning of our number 10. So we're not even halfway through yet. We're starting to see separation in the field, and everybody's like, oh, the field's so spread out already, that's so blah. Well, that's the way it goes when you're in a 24-hour race. The field's going to spread out, strategies are going to start to kick in, tire allowances are going to start to kick in, and some of these teams that have used a lot of their faster compounded tires and haven't conserved them are going to find themselves all of a sudden giving that time back away at the end of the race to the guys or the gals and the teams that have conserved their softer tire compounds. So it is very hard to say what's going to happen every time and every stint over the next 2-hour driver sessions that we use to complete our desired length of race. In this case, it's 12 driver stints. of 2 hours apiece to make up 24 hours, and it is a minimum of 4 drivers that have to race this race for each team in order to be official for racing qualifications. So if you do not have 4 different drivers race at least 1 2-hour stint in the race, then you will not actually qualify for official results and essentially will be DQ'd. So that is the deal with the 24-hour races. You have to field, I believe it's a minimum of 4 teams, unless there was a revision made in the rule book, which I didn't catch this season. I believe that still is the same case for 24-hour races. So that means that 4 different drivers at bare minimum have to sit behind the wheel of each respective team's car throughout the race here today. All right, back to the field we go here. We want to keep our eye on the 6th place battle. That's correct. We were thinking about this juicy battle right here for P6 between the number 66 car and the number 27 car. And it is definitely closing up here. The gap is less than a second now, so the BMW hunting a Porsche right now here around the racetrack, about midway through, 2/3 of the way through here. And as we're getting through this high speed and then mid-speed sectors, the final couple sectors here, it takes us up the back straight on the Nurb. We're going to see an attempted pass most likely from the 27 car here. We'll see if we can close up the gap on the 66 car here as they go around. Is that? I'm pretty sure that's the 66 car. Yeah, it's gotta be the 66 car. Check the lyrics. I swear I checked the lyrics before the stint started. There's probably one there, but again, I got some. Anyways, battle on. 6/10 of a second here on the racetrack. Grand Prix 7 isn't perfect either. I mean, it is. Yeah, it happens. I thought I had all the others right, but I must not have. Nonetheless, battle time. We like battles. Half a second now. The gap basically a car length at this point, separating the BMW, chasing the 66 Porsche in front here. So Inferno Motorsports is looking to try and move up into 6th place here and put that number 66 car down into plus 7. But the Porsche not going down with a fight. Nice and nimble, nice and quick through these corners. Can really hold apex speed. BMW a little heavier, a little lunkier. Got to slow it down just a little bit through the corners, but makes up for it obviously on the more straight line sections where power starts to factor in a little more. But the Porsche is definitely moving and grooving. I don't know as much about the new Porsche because I haven't driven it at all since it's been released in the game, as a matter of fact. A whole lot of track time for this guy has been not there, but great battle brewing here, right tucked in through the carousel there. Good carousel by both drivers here. And we're setting up Drew Hasselbeck. But high-speed corner here, full off in the throttle. You're going to make a wide exit there. The Porsche kept that a little shallow, a little semi-defensive, I think, there. And the BMW is just going to pull out, going to make that pass here very early on up the straight here. Now, the big question is can the 66 car respond before the end of the straightaway here, heading into the braking zone? Because the Porsche is definitely giving him a run for his money up the back straight here. But I think that might have been just enough of a side-by-side battle there to keep that Porsche 992 at bay before the braking zone here, but I could be wrong. We've seen some great battles through here already to this weekend, and I highly doubt that we're going to be done seeing the battles here this weekend as well. What's up, Nolander? That was a juicy stint you had going on, brother. And the battle ensues here. But the 27 car does indeed get the job done, so no response there from the 66 team. Inferno Motorsports moving up into B6 and the 66 car moving down into 7th place. So great job there, but now that's allowed number 1 car here to pull within 10 seconds. 8.8 seconds here in 8th place is the number 1 defending champion car here from Esports Race Asylum. And the purple blue machine is trying to close the gap here to get themselves back up into P7 here today. So up and down day here for ERA, but holding strong right in the middle of the field. And they are the defending champions, so they definitely know what's going on here. They know what to expect out of this championship, but every season's a new season and every weekend's a new racing weekend. So maybe where you're dominant one year might not be the case the next, and just hanging in there right now, right in the middle of the field. So we're going to keep on moving through here, and we've got, I believe, the Project 1 Racing Porsche right here in 9th position. Is that what I'm seeing? It sure looks like that P1R car. And they're doing good. They had a rough start to the race here. They were up a couple of positions. Now they're down a couple of positions, and then they're up a position. So it's hanging strong here in 9th place. They got 24 seconds to the defending champions right now in the number 1 Porsche. And they've got 21 seconds to get over the number 54 car chasing in behind for my team esports. I'm showing a whole lot of love here to the Project 1 racing car here today. Yet on my end, so we're going to try and give them some love while we can here. And I mean, honestly, their car is one of the few cars that stands out even in the nighttime conditions here, so at least you can see a little bit what that livery looks like as well on the track currently. Again, we did help with a little bit of camera exposure and a little bit of lighting tweaking here for you guys and gals to hopefully see the cars a little bit better in the nighttime conditions, but we didn't want to overexpose it, and of course making so it's hard for you guys to see with the headlight glare as well. Very fine lines. Gran Turismo loves to play on fine lines, apparently. All right, number 54, my team esports car here. Again, another Porsche livery that just magically stopped showing up, but it was showing up at the beginning. Some weird stuff going on here tonight. Currently sitting in 10th place. 22 seconds behind 9th place. This is, yeah, crazy. Craziness. All right, Portugal All-Star team here, the number 4 Ferrari in 11th place here right now has 2 minutes in behind in the 54 car and about 3 minutes to get over our, I believe that is QRT Porsche here in 12th place. And they're just a little over a lap down here currently, just after 10 hours in. So, you know, they've been hanging in there all race long. And they're still not out of this race really at the end of the day, so we'll have to wait and see how they keep managing that. I mean, they're pushing, they're going to continue the wheels rolling on that Porsche, and anything can happen at the end of the day. I mean, craziness can happen, and all of a sudden they could be up in like 3rd or 4th place. You just never know, so you can't discount it. Can't be like, oh, it goes, that's not going to happen. Statistically, there's a probably low percentage. Yes, you're correct, but it's not impossible. Nothing's impossible. So, minute 35 is gap in the race lead. Now, it hasn't changed yet after about 20 minutes of good full-speed racing here now from this group. And it's actually group for second, 34. So, very equal pace right now here in the front half of the racing pack today. We've got the 111 Porsche here currently in 2nd place. Again, just holding strong, just being able to maintain, not able to really chip away at that gap, but they're not giving anything back to the gap either. They've got 17.5 seconds to the 303 Porsche chasing in 3rd place. Again, this car has led the race at one point here this weekend as well, so definitely don't discount these guys out of here either. They're currently fastest drivers on the racetrack as well. That is being held by a race leader with an 804.4. We have seen faster laps already here today. I'm not sure what the overall fastest lap is. Nolan, do you have any idea what that might be? Alright, Elite Racing Squad number 73, BMW here, currently sitting in 4th place. They've got just under a minute here to the podium right now on the racetrack, so they got some work to do here. But, you know, this car has looked good and strong here at Nurburgring. This one and the other BMW as well. The 6th place team here currently, we just seen a little battle happen there with Inferno Motorsports. BMW's been looking really strong here as well. It just seems like the number 73 team has a little bit of a better maybe handle on the car itself around the racetrack. I'm not sure, but just a little bit better performance currently anyways in the first half of the race coming out of the 73 BMW. But 59 seconds is a big hill to climb, so they're just going to continue to work away, but it's going to be a tough climb right now if you see what I see. All right. So that moves us back down into our 5th place driver here, and this is our Sector 7 Racing Porsche, the number 7 car here, and they are 40 seconds in behind fourth place and closing. So they are nipping away at that gap that they've been working on here. And it was 48 seconds when they came out of pit lane. So they've already nipped away 8 seconds, I believe, out of that gap. If my memory serves me correctly, I am getting old. It can be slipping a little bit. So give plus or minus 2 seconds, let's call it. But 30 seconds ahead of the 27 BMW currently on the racetrack here as well. A little hard to see deliveries right now on the race cars, but again, it is very, very dark here at the Nurburgring. It is evening, nighttime, essentially. Most kiddies are asleep or just getting ready to wake up for breakfast here in a couple hours, you know what I mean? So that's nighttime here right now at the racetrack. That takes us to our number 27 in BMW here, the Infernal Motorsports BMW. This is the other BMW on the racetrack. Outside of that, we've got a couple of Ferraris, and the rest are Porsche 992s. I believe the Ferrari 296s. My memory is now working a little bit that we've gotten enough coffee in us here since the last broadcast. But doing a great job here, and I mean, purple sectors coming from all these races right now as the tires are getting in optimal range, the cars are in optimal range, the drivers are settled in at this point. We're going to see lap times probably starting to drop a little bit here. The GT Finland Racing team here, a 66 car currently sitting in 7th place, and that is a 5.4 second gap to 8th place in behind, and a 6.1 second gap to the BMW that they're battling with a little while back. So a little off the pace of that BMW here currently, and woohoo, a little bit of a tense moment right there for the number 1 car as they come around the corner there and had a little bit of a slip and slide ride. They managed to gather it back up, keep it underneath them, keep it on the tarmac, and keep it moving forward there. The gap is 6.2 seconds. They only about 3/4 of a second there with that little mistake there, but still moving forward, and that's what matters the most as he continues up the back straight here. So 25 seconds is the gap between himself and the Project 1 Racing number 20 Porsche. And I tell you what, these guys, you never count this number 20 car out. I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, if you're always looking for a long shot bet, which obviously doesn't happen here, but if it were the case, I would always be considering to put my money on the 20 car. Honestly, you just never know what's going to come out of this camp. Sometimes, all of a sudden they're just like, bam, look at us go. And I mean, they've been giving it today. They've been giving it hard here today. And I don't think we've seen the last of the number 20 car yet here today either. I really don't. That's just my opinion. Number 54 Porsche here, my team esports right now, is 6 seconds in behind with number 20 car and has to get 2 minutes over the number 4 team here currently from the Portugal All-Stars Ferrari. So no pressure in behind essentially right now. All really the focus needs to be on trying to close that 26 second gap, 28 second gap, currently sitting in front of them. And then we've got our number 4 Portugal All-Star Racing Team car here, currently sitting in 11th place, 2 minutes 4 seconds in behind that 54 car, and 3 minutes ahead of the QRT Esports Porsche there as well here today. I'm sitting here second guessing myself, Jack. Alright, so again, the 64 car QRT Esports here, still giving it everything they've got. 10 minutes 11 seconds behind the overall race leader, just a little over a lap at this point, but 3 minutes and 4 seconds behind the next position. It's not an insurmountable mountain to climb, it can be done. And take it from experience. I've raced in this championship before, and I know how hard it is, and I know how easy it can be to give up minutes of time very quickly. So anything can happen. Especially with a racetrack that's, like I said, roughly about 24 kilometers in length total. The weather changes from one part of the racetrack to the next. It can literally be sunny in one part and raining in a completely different part of the racetrack. And, you know, it tests your will, your might, and your experience as a racer and a team, and a car, really, in order to complete 24 hours here. So they've got a long ways to go yet, But it is NWR Motorsports leading the charge. Gap just staying consistent. It's really just fluctuating a second one way or the other right now. Very, very consistent pace between first, second, and third place here. I would say first through fifth place probably at bare minimum here right now. And the drivers definitely look locked in right now. But this NWR Motorsports team just looked like they came a little extra prepared, or with something up their sleeve or something going on here very in the mid part of this race. They've just been absolutely rolling that Ferrari up this racetrack, tearing it up, and not really looking back here for the last little while. So is anybody going to be able to respond is the biggest question. Is it going to be a little mistake made that's going to cost 20 seconds here and 20 seconds there, and start to give that that extra little bit of motivation for the second place, third place teams to make it up? And tense moment right there for the 111 cars. He just slid halfway around that carousel, a little tail grind there. I think Tony Hawk would have been fairly impressed with that Porsche 992 tail slide as he entered the carousel right there. But managed just to gather it up. He's, that was a great job in reality, because if he would have let the car slide all the way up out of that carousel, he would have probably been at risk of getting rear end damage on that car, or worse, engine damage, because that's where the engine is in this car. And that really could have set them back here early on in hour number 10. So they're very, I mean, that was a very skillful save right there. It might not seem like much to those that are watching at home, but he was on the line of completely losing that car and probably taking damage if he would have slid any more out of that carousel. So a great save right there from the 111 car. A close moment right there coming out of the carousel, and that just goes to show how much the track changes depending on what the weather is doing on the track. Now, I mean, it looks like it's pretty nice. It looks like it's clear skies currently above the racetrack. I can't obviously really tell, but just judging by how clear the racetrack is, we don't see any cloud, we don't see any fog, mist, or anything like that, moisture coming up from the racetrack right now. So it tells me that it's fairly nice in the skies above in the current condition of night. But it looks like a very light cloud cover in those shots. But the track is very cool, very cold, because it's nighttime, right? The sun's not heating it up, so that means the grip factor is getting significantly less for these drivers. Now, again, not necessarily the worst thing for tire wear, but the extra slip and slide that's taken out of the corners when you're pushing too hard in the condition can wear the tires down very quickly as well. So it's the drivers are always treading a line. I mean, they're always treading a line no matter what's going on. But the Nurburgring really seems to put it all to the test at any moment's notice. All right, our Elite Racing Squad 73 BMW here with a minute 22 now, so we will lose in touch a little bit here with that pack, but I'm assuming probably made a pit stop to fix the damage they had. They did have some rear end damage on this BMW a little bit earlier here on in hour number 10. They did obviously stop to make that correction. They were going to lose too much time overall trying to run it to their probably scheduled pit stop than it was to come in and fix that car. So there's no point in delaying. When that's the case, just get in, fix it, get back out, and try to minimize the damage on the lost time. Right now, a little bit more time to make up back to the podium, but still has a 20-second gap for the fifth place number 7 car here from Sector 7 Racing. So not all is lost, but definitely, getting it to the point now where you're starting to pay attention to what's going on behind you at 20 seconds here at the Nurburgring, because 20 seconds in reality isn't a whole lot of time at the Nurburgring. It takes one mistake and that 20 seconds turns into 8 seconds really quickly. We've seen it a couple times here already today, and I'm sure we'll see it a couple more times before the end of the night as well. But the number 7 car is cruising right now in 20 seconds in both directions, so kind of a no man's land right now himself as well. Maybe not the worst thing in the world at this point in the race. Again, you're trying to save the race car, so you're not overdriving it. You don't want to wear it down too quickly. You want to make sure there's a car left at the end of the 24 hours, and that's the big thing too. So it's a juggling act on how hard to push, when to push, and when just to get some laps in and really just maximize consistency. An 801.598 fastest lap on the racetrack right now. That's currently being held by this 27 car here in 6th place, and that is a fast lap in these conditions here, almost nipping the 8-minute flat range here. So drivers are definitely moving here tonight, and the 27 car looking pretty strong here. Again, 20 seconds to the 7 car up front, and almost 10 seconds now back to the 66 car in behind here of GT Finland Racing Porsche team. So BMW is again looking very strong here today. They really are. The 66 car moving, grooving, and doing their thing here as well as they just enter out of the mini carousel. They're getting ready to head up that back straight. Gap is 10.2 seconds, so BMW got a little bit of a better run through that final sector there as well. And that's great news, obviously, for the 27 car, but the number 1 car looks like they are just about to tip under 5 seconds in behind, so chipping away. Currently right now is, oh no, the number 1 car, and it looks like we have a mechanical failure going on here from one of our drivers, I believe. Just bear with me here as I get the information correctly. I believe that was our number 7 car. Interesting. So the number 7 car facing a disconnection right there with at lap 4 here essentially. So very unfortunate there for the number 7 car, and that is going to set him a little further back here, unfortunately, in the grid, moving into the next driver Stint. There will be, so the ruling on that is, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that might be new or unsure what just happened there, obviously an internet connection failed or a server connection failed with a particular driver that disconnected that driver from the lobby, which means that that's it for their 2-hour stint. However, the racing organization has placed in a formula that accounts for how many laps are left in the race, what the gap was to the race leader at the time of the disconnect. They formulate that, and the driver can come back in the next driver's stint with a added time penalty to the distance to the race leader. So in this case, they're probably going to be looking at roughly around 3 minutes, maybe more, maybe less, without doing the math myself officially. So don't hold me to that. It could be a little off one way or the other. So, essentially that's going to put him about 2/3 of a lap down from the overall race leader. So, I mean, it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. And like I said in my last stint, if any team can start making a recovery drive on something like that, it's definitely that number 7 team. We've seen it happen a lot last season, and we've already seen them do it a couple of times this season as well. So they're never out of the race. You just hate to see that, but essentially we call that, or consider that, as a mechanical malfunction or a failure. So they're in behind the wall, essentially repairing that car, fixing that car. Once they get that car repaired, quote unquote, or fixed, they can bring it back from tech inspection. Once the tech inspectors say that it's safe to get back on the racetrack, then they can bring it back to pit lane, and then they get released by racing officials. Essentially it's the same thing here. We're just skipping a few of the mumbo jumbo processes because we're playing a video game platform at the end of the day. So gotta make workarounds, but yeah, essentially the same thing. Alright, 54 car here is 32 seconds in behind the number 20 car, and I guess because of the missing car now, I'm out of sync here. So it is our number 20 car here from Project 1 Racing that we were going to go to next. That's 24 seconds in behind the number 1 car. We may have been there, I just got sidetracked with my thought. That happens lots. And is currently sitting 32 seconds ahead of the number 54 car, which we were just watching there a few seconds ago, who has a 2-minute gap over our number 4 Portugal All-Stars team here. The number 4 Ferrari out on the racetrack here, and a little bit of a tough day here for them, but they are still absolutely moving and grooving and doing their thing on the racetrack here. And the QRT number 64 Porsche also sitting here in 11th place. So I said in my first broadcast, and I said at the beginning of this broadcast, you just got to put your head down when you're in that situation. When you're in the back of the pack, you've had a rough start to your race, you seem to be just a little bit off. You just got to keep going. You got to keep the wheels turning. You just got to keep that car moving to the checkered flag, because anything can happen in racing. They just gain the position, right? No, and then again, not necessarily a position, but they gain time. They gain time on a team. Maybe 2 teams. If that's a retirement for the day, which does happen sometimes, then you gain a position essentially because you're still rolling on the racetrack and the other team isn't. So that's why you just keep going, because you just never know what's going to happen. It is a virtual world. We are at the mercy of our internet connection. And unfortunately for the number 7 team, it's just been honestly their biggest plague of the Endurance Championships since we've seen them competing here at IRO is those malfunctions, those failures on that end of it, and that honestly has probably been quite a bit of a difference maker in last season's overall results, and it is becoming a difference maker here for them again here this season. So just hate to see it. We want to see it not happen, so they can just have a good race and do their thing without that particular issue, right? But every team goes through it. Every team has a driver that disconnects. Maybe not every race, but ERS, yes, we can. 1 minute 22 behind third place, and then 37 seconds to get over in the 27 car now currently. And then probably a position gained with the disconnect from the 7 car, so should be sitting solid in 4th place for however long it is that car is there now. And yeah, looking good. Like I said, the BMWs have looked good here. Just now trying to catch up to those 3 Porsches up front is the big task for this BMW here right now, but looking real strong so far today. I know it's hard to see the cars right now, ladies and gentlemen, but we can't turn up the lighting too much because then it really just doesn't look good with the headlights. They glare, and you'll thank me if I turn it up a bunch. You'll thank me immediately. You'd see the difference. It'll blind you in your phone screen or your TV screen, whatever your laptop screen, whatever the case may be. So yeah, that was a tough one. I didn't see what happened, but we definitely picked up that they had some rear spoiler damage there. So long race, got a long ways to go yet. Still got 13 and a half hours or something like that. It's looking good out there. Team's looking good. Alright, minute 37, here's the gap in the race lead. Again, not really changing that much. A couple seconds difference since the beginning of the stint, basically. 22 seconds here from our 111 car to the 303 car, and I think that gap is closing, if my memory serves me correctly. It's a little shaky. I'm getting old. Using that my excuse all day. But 122 again ahead of the number 73 BMW here as well. Of course you can. QRT Esports here. That's not the right spot. There we go. QRT Esports. 254 in behind Portugal All-Star here right now. So they are actually gaining time on them. That's actually for a bit of time gained right there. They have a 3:04, so 10 seconds. Yeah, 10 seconds gained in the last, I want to say 2 laps. Yeah, you're welcome, brother. And that's not actually what their car looks like, ladies and gentlemen, the viewers at home. And then their livery is correct, and for some reason it's not showing correctly. Game glitch, have no control over it. Don't know what's going on with this new one exactly, but got 2 cars that are blacked out the same way. It's really weird. Alright, so it does appear like our race leader's going to make a pit stop here this time around. Again, minute 37.2, it's good right now over the field. But with that pit stop, that's going to close that gap up a little bit, obviously, as upcoming. Now, the bigger question is, when does everybody else pit in behind? They might follow suit, they might be on a different strategy. I have to wait to find out. I mean, what else do you say? But 22 seconds is the gap between 111 and 303. Minute 22 in between 303 and the 73. And right now, not a whole lot of battling happening. It's a whole lot of settling into this race and just trying to make up whatever bits of time you can. Try to have a really good clean run and keep the car in one piece. I mean, that's always the mid-race point here. We do have a 4-second gap separating here, so the number 1 car is not gaining on the 66 car, but he's not losing the 66 car either. That gap has been hovering right around that 5-second mark since they pretty much came out of pit lane. Basically, it was at 6 seconds, I think, at the beginning. So they've chipped away about a second at the 66 car here so far. And that's be for currently 6th place on the racetrack. It'll change things up a little bit once we the officials do their magical stuff that they do behind the scenes to factor in the 7 cars placement next stint. But they'll fall somewhere right around in here, I think. Alright, the number 20 car here for Project 1 Racing, 22 seconds in behind the number 1 team here. That hasn't changed too much here over the last, I want to say 15 minutes or so either. Almost 2 laps of racing. I know it's crazy to say that, right? 15 minutes, only 2 laps. Yeah, 8 minutes a lap around the racetrack as we're seeing these guys at right now. Just goes to show you what they're up against over the next remaining 13 and a little bit hours. 13 and a half, I'm going to say. Our 54 car is 35 seconds in behind our 20 car here and just maintaining their gap right now to the Portugal All-Stars Ferrari in behind about 2 minutes 11 seconds, roughly about a quarter of a lap. I'm not sure what happened to the Portugal All-Star boys, but they've had a little bit of a rough early mid-race, along with a couple of our teams here. QRT Esports having a little bit of a rough middle race. Project 1 Racing, not sure what happened to them at the beginning of the race, or if anything's even happened to them. Maybe they're just not on pace with their majority of the field up front. I'm not sure. I'm only speculating. Don't hurt me. Don't send me the hate mail. I know I love you all, I promise. Just speaking it as it may be. Not as it is, because I don't know if it's fact or not. I'm just theorizing, doing commentator things. You know? 2 minutes 52 seconds is the gap between the QRT and number 4 Portugal All-Stars as well. So they are closing in. There's 12 seconds gain now on the number 4 team here as they continue on around the racetrack, and definitely utilizing all the racetrack there as he almost went a little too wide coming out of that corner and caught a little bit of the grass edge there, which would have been just trouble and would have been a wall touch right there for sure. But I need to just keep it lean and mean and keep it out of the wall machine, that's for sure. Alright, so our race leader is actually coming up the back straight right now. There's not a whole lot going on at the moment. We do have that 5-second-ish gap between the number 1 and 66 car right now. We're going to just keep our eye on that for a minute. We're going to go on board with our 224 car here, and we're going to give you guys a little bit more of a perspective of what the drivers are dealing with as far as the weather conditions go out on the racetrack. What we're seeing and what they're seeing are 2 completely different things, and as I say that, we're going to see that that driver make a pit stop. So we'll go jump over with our 11 car here for the time being. Well, that pit stop happens, and then we'll jump back on over to our race leader and jump on board. They'll throw you on board with the 303 crew. Currently 1 minute and 4 seconds after that pit stop, obviously, in behind the 111 car. But again, the pit stop sequence now underway, ladies and gentlemen. So some drivers have stopped, some drivers will continue to go on for a few more laps and then stop. We should see a series of 2 pit stop sequences before the end of this 2-hour stint. We might see more pit stops come from certain teams or certain camps, depending on what their pit strategy is, or depending on what the weather may perhaps provide as well. So expected to see at least 2 rounds of pit stops here coming from all of the field, most likely, essentially, as this 2-hour driver run continues on. They always have a chance. You know it, brother. You know it, brother. Alright, so 73 BMW camp here now in, so we are ready to get a look at that beautiful car here. We also got the 27 car the 27 BMW coming in the pit lane here as well. Our defending champions. Everybody gets a nice good look at the car here this way. I love the camera views we get in pit lane here on Gran Turismo 7. They really do a good job. All the animations, everything that's happening there. ERA must have paid the camera crew to keep a distance from the pit stop happening there, because they sure didn't show much there, did they, ladies and gentlemen? They just showed a far away shot. Do I stream IRO often? IRO, the races are every once a month, basically, over a 10-month period. So they start essentially in February and end in November. And I do work with the IRO broadcast team for each of the Split 1 races, yes. Alright, so the 20 car now coming in here as well, as they just got released. And they've been having a pretty good comeback drive, so to speak. So let's see what they've got here as they continue on. They actually come out in 8th place again. Everybody's up a position right now due to the disconnect from the number 7 car. We will see the number 7 car back in the next driver's stint, and they will of course just come in with a time penalty added on, so they won't be able to leave pit lane for X amount of seconds once their driver essentially would have come in to pit lane in this stint. Alright, 54 car just coming out. We were watching pit stops, and I blew it. That's alright. Again, this is one of the 2 liveries that for some reason are just weirdly blacked out. The car's looking exactly the same. It's really weird, but we'll just roll with it. We got number 4 Portugal All-Stars Ferrari here right now. We may or may not see a pit stop come from this camp here this time around. I think we're probably going to see a pit stop here. I don't want to get the fuel to take this car around one more time. It's sitting on roughly about 9%, maybe 10% fuel tops there. So we'll see what they do here. We're going to stick with them for a minute just to see if they're going to come in and pit, or they're going to really stretch that fuel right to the bottom end here. I mean, without the help of slipstream, doing a little bit of short shifting, in slipstream and stuff like that, I think that they pit here. Ooh, I bumped my mic. I keep doing that. I gotta get it out of the way of my big fat swinging elbows. Keep hitting it. Alright, we are going to see a pit stop come from the number 4 Portugal All-Star Racing Camp here as well. Ferrari is coming in here. We will sit with it here for a moment. We'd like, again, It's always cool to see the pit stops actually happen. That doesn't happen in many sim racing games, so GG's GG on that one. And I mean, that has got to be the fastest tire change in the history of tire changes. It's got to be it's like 3 seconds flat every time. They are real good at it. Alright, QRT Esports here, a 64 car as well. They are 245 behind now, so they are chiseling away. That 245 is before, basically when they came into pit lane, the number 4 car up ahead here. So they're going to gain that pit stop time, 45 seconds, a minute, whatever the case may be there. But of course they haven't pitch yet, so they're going to do that time back, whether it be the full amount of time back or a little less, depending on what the pit strategy is. But right now, I think they're okay to go around a couple more times. So they're thinking about what they're probably going to be doing, but they're probably not overthinking about what they're going to be doing here right now. But back to the race leader, and the gap is a minute 3. Now that is a little bit inflated because we haven't seen the pit stop come from some of our racers in behind chasing the race leader right now. So I would assume that that's going to go back to roughly around where it was. And you can see that as we go through the car that clearly they have yet to make a pit stop on the racing track. So minute 1 is the gap between the 111 and the 303 car, who has actually made a pit stop. So that might be good news for the 303 car here. The ERS team is a minute 22 in behind Maddie right now for the 303 car, and is just maintaining that gap right now. Not really losing any time, but they're not really gaining any time either. Not the worst thing in the world. Checkered flag isn't a couple hours away where they really need to be closer. That's not the case right now. They just need to keep chipping away and get good solid laps. Hopefully they're a little bit faster than the guy you're chasing. We've got the 66 car here for GT Philip Racers, currently sitting in fifth place. Once the next driver Stint comes back into play and they get the 7 car back out on the racetrack. But in the meantime, it is 5th place here for the GT Finland Racing number 66 car here, and they have 13 seconds, so not a big gap here in the sense of gaps right now on the racetrack between the 27 and the 66 car. So the 27 car looking to close up the gap and get back around that 66 Porsche here and start chasing down the other BMW again. You can. As per request, and again, this is another one of the livers that looks like it's not showing up either. It looks like it's the same black and red baseline that the other one that's not showing up is, but I know they have it because I've already seen it. So yeah, I don't know what to say. Game's broken sometimes. Alright, back through the field here. Number 1 car is 26 seconds in behind that 27 BMW, with just under 20 seconds to get over the number 20 Project One Racing Porsche here as well. We've got 38 seconds to get to the number 54 Camp in behind here at the moment. But looking good and solid here is this number 20 car as they continue to try and track down our defending champion. And I mean, every one of these teams has a work cut out for them. It's chasing down anybody in front of them right now because the pace of the race is just so fast here today at the Nurburgring. 2 minutes and 40 seconds is the gap between the 54 car and the number 4 car here at the racetrack here. This is a Porsche. They did start with the Mercedes AMG this season, and I think it was after Daytona they went to the Porsche 992. It could have been maybe the next racing round after that, but recently changed to Porsche 992. At Portugal All-Stars, they started with the Mazda RX-7 Vision concept car and have since moved to the Porsche 992 as well. QRT, I believe, started in Porsche. No, they started in the R8 Evo edition, right? Almost every team, I think, at some point has switched their cars this season. I have a little cheat sheet here. I think every team has made a switch. No, this season that has not switched their car so far this season. That is our current race leader, the NWR Motorsports team here. The 224 Ferrari has started in that Ferrari and are still racing the championship in that Ferrari. So whatever they figured out with this Ferrari, it's very clearly working, and whatever everybody else hasn't liked about it is not working for them. However, we have seen again the Portugal All-Stars team switch to the Ferrari, so maybe they see the same thing that the NWR Motorsports crew sees in this car right now. But it is a very heavy Porsche selected field now here this season. Midway through here in this tour. Driver Stint, will it stay dry? I do not actually know. I do not know, my man. I do not know what the weather is going to do here in this stint particularly. I believe that it is hard set for the first two slots and the last two slots, and I believe it is random in the middle. So what happens basically from about the, I want to say, 25-minute mark to the hour 40-minute mark, give or take, is kind of random. It's hit and miss. It's hard to say what it's going to do. But obviously it probably acts within the parameters of the settings pre and post. So I'm not sure. I obviously couldn't tell you. It looks pretty good right now. It looks like for the most part it's very light clouds in the skies. When you get the shot up in the sky, it doesn't look like there's any ugly weather moving in or anything like that. So I think that the drivers have a pretty good racing conditions here currently on the racetrack. So the gap after the pit stop here from second place now is a minute 55. So NWR continues now to open the gap up on the field here. Maddie is just a little over 2 minutes in behind racing, closing very quickly, however, on the 111 car. So that gap down to just under 11 seconds here now. A measly old 11 seconds at the Nurburgring, right down the racetrack. So tracking in very quickly is Maddie. The number 73 car is a minute 22 in behind. He's not losing any time at all to that 303 car, which means he's also moving up and catching up to the second place car currently on the racetrack then as well, if that's the case, because they're literally driving the same speed basically. The 27 car here is still the fastest driver on the racetrack currently in this session with an 801.598, and it has 26 seconds in behind that number 73 BMW, and all of a sudden this 27 BMW woke up here at the Nurburgring. It's like that car is just like, oh, okay, I'm happy right now, let's go. So we're definitely trying to take advantage of it. Is that 27 car right now. Number 1 car, our esports race asylum team here in 8th position, 29 seconds in behind the 27 car. So now trying to fight that gap back again, and has 17 seconds to get over the number 66 car in behind. So not bad, up position here right now after that pit stop sequence, and with a nice little gap in behind as well, so doesn't need to worry too much currently about what's happening with the 66 car in behind. But the 66 car has something to worry about, and it's that number 20 Project 1 Racing Porsche right now, as he is absolutely locked in and tucked in right now. There's a car length separating these two as we continue around the racetrack here, and timing is everything sometimes. And what a great time to find this battle on the racetrack here, and it is two Porsches battling it out for that 7th place position here on the racetrack. And tough fighting when it is so dark on the racetrack. The drivers really got to trust their instincts and their knowledge of the racetrack. We're side by side here as we drive up this high speed section of the racetrack, and which driver is going to give first once we get closer to the braking zone. And it's going to be the Project 1 Racing Porsche getting the job done there, moving it up a position into 7th place. So Project 1 Racing again on the move here on the racetrack right now, and that was a beautiful pass from the number 20 car over the 66 car here as they continue up. So we'll stick with this here for a moment. Oh, they're working! Yay! All right, second look at that, ladies and gentlemen. And a little bit of a different look from the camera guy there, and just good, hard, clean racing here right now. Lots of respect shown by the two Porsche drivers here. Lots of room given to each other there, and not really hard fought for there from the 66 car. Just decided, you know what, I'll give GG's to him. He's got the move. He got the position, and we'll just let him take it easy and not cost any one of us any extra time here. So he'll tuck back in, try to close back in, and try to see if he can essentially do the exact same thing back. But a little wiggle coming out of the carousel there, and that's going to cost him a little bit there, and just enough to get out of the slipstream of that Project 1 number 20 car. The 20 car looks like he is on a mission right now, and the mission is open that gap up to the 66 car here currently in place. So it's the 54 car here right now in 9th position, 42 seconds in behind that battle that we were just watching a few minutes ago. So, oof, hey, we love action. We love action. Out of nowhere, that battle just started to happen. Again, pit stop sequences matter. The tire allottances start to matter, start to factor in. We're starting to see that happen here with the gaps between the racers. So, almost 3 minutes here now is that gap between 9th and 10th place, and there's 2 minutes and 47 seconds between our number 4 Ferrari and our number 64 Porsche QRT Esports there, sitting in position on the racetrack here, and they haven't given up, I think, more than a second here so far to the race leader in this first half of the driver's stint as well. So definitely on pace with the race. Just unfortunate that they're a little set back here currently at the 11-hour mark of the race, give or take plus laps. We have a blue flag situation coming up here now with our race leader NWR. Motorsports coming up here on, not sure who that is. We'll see in a moment. It looks like a Ferrari they're coming up on, so I assume that is our number 4 Portugal All-Star Racing Team car here that they are encroaching on, and we should see some blue flag navigation here shortly. Whew, there we go. Finally got himself into a spot where he can do a little dipsy doodle there to let the 224 car through. So that was well navigated actually there. That's the 224 car obviously wanted to get through as quickly as possible, but we were just kind of watching it intently. We were enthralled by that ourselves apparently. We were zoned out there watching what was going on the racetrack, but just a little dip off the racing line there from the number 4 car. That's all the 224 car needed to get through, and he took advantage of that hole right there, right as it happened. So essentially almost prepared for that hole to happen. Maybe a little communication happening between the teams to say that's where it was going to happen, or that's what they were going to do. So be prepared for it. But the 224 car definitely didn't hesitate. Blew through that hole real quick, and right up the road real quick here. So the 111 car here, almost 2 minutes now in behind here. So they're finding that race lead slipping from them here currently as it stands at this point in the race. Still lots of racing left, though. However, anything can change very, very quickly. We've seen that some of our teams paying for it more than others, but they pay for mistakes at the Nurburgring. That's just all there is to it. And those mistakes always relate to time and typically car damage. Let's be real. Racing squad BMW here in the number 73 car, minute 20 behind here right now. Kind of nibbling. He's nibbling away a little bit there at that gap in third place. It was minute 22, right? So that's a second. That's a nibble. I mean, we'll take it, right? Any nibble you can get right now, especially at this point in the race. Any small gain is a win. So right now, small gains. All right, 27 car. Seems to be about 22 seconds behind here currently right now, and much of the same thing, just small little white gains, right? Get them where you can. Just watching the timing here for a second, so bear with me. Why I like that, I'm looking at something. Just completely daydreaming and not paying attention. Sometimes that happens too, but just watching the live timing right now, and I mean the 27 car is opening the gap up a little bit actually over the number 1 car here currently. That's what I was looking at. So hot minute, a few hot corners, so to speak, for that to kind of really settle in and turn with a little more and sector on the yard here, but complete 10. Just 10. It's 2. It's 3. It's 3. Alright, 20 car here. 17.5 seconds. Ooh, alright. Definitely dipping away a little bit here. Ticking away out the number 1 car. Yeah, absolutely on a tear right now. I tell you what, that 20 car is. We will be watching forward here, I think, before the end of this stint again. Give us a little bit of a show or some fireworks right at the end. Okay, race is definitely a little bit spread out. I know, right? But that happens in this part of the race. That's just normal stuff. We got the brewing battle happening now. I mean, there's a couple there that are, I can see definitely starting to develop here as this stint continues to grow older. all comes down to the tire strategies too, right? I mean, each team right now in the race, so. Yeah. 16 seconds here. I mean, 20 cars pushing. GT Finland racing team is only 10 now. I mean, and then there's a little bit of gap there, 30 seconds. So, kind of right here in this midfield right now, we're keeping our eye on the most. See how much that bump 2 in the hairpin after turn 2 essentially that is, I guess, really upsets these Porsche 992s as well. I've noticed that throughout the night here as these Porsche cars go through that sector of the racetrack, how it seems to really unsettle them when they come out of the dip in that first part of the corner. Kind of just enjoying the race with you guys, in a sense, you know? When there's not a lot going on the racetrack, that's typically what I do. I just kind of sit here and catch myself almost just watching it with you. I almost get distracted in a sense when I'm watching it. But it is the 224 car here in the lead. 2-minute gap now, a little over. Our current championship points leaders, the 111 OVO Esports car here in second place. Don't miss it. Currently holding a half-second track limit penalty, so that'll set him back another second essentially once they serve that penalty, because the serving penalties are right at the end of that back straight. So once you come out from that last very high speed right hand corner, you basically get like 100 meters up the track, and then you got to serve that penalty, and it absolutely kills all your exit speed momentum. Then you got to get going again up that straight, and then you lose all of that carrying momentum up the straight as well. So I mean, in reality, a half-second penalty maybe costs you the second half or more here potentially. But you definitely don't want to pick up penalties here. They cost you so much. Right, a minute 19 now is the gap from the 73 car to the 303 Porsche here in third place, the FTR team, which for some reason the show we haven't really said too much about that. I mean, they've had a solid race here so far today. I mean, just fighting, they're scrapping, they're battling, you know, they're at war right now. try and get the best podium position they can here. We're leading the race at one point in time here early on as well today, so it's been a very good first half of the race for the 303 Camp. But so much of the same thing for the 73 car here. They had an issue of some sort in the early part of the race, dropped down to 10th place, and now currently sitting back up into 4th position here. And even after re-emplacement to the number 7 car, next driver Stint, that will still be the 73 car sitting in 4th place for sure, as they were just chasing that car about 40 seconds in behind at the time of the disconnect, give or take, I think it was. So easily gonna jump over that position there. It's our 73 car. Then that leaves us with our 27 car here as well, and they're only 20 seconds in behind as well. So if I had to guess, we could see that number 7 car even come in behind the 66 Porsche here. Maybe even somewhere close to that 54 car, I think, based off of the disconnect here, like 4. It's going to be a little bit of time, a little chunk, 20 seconds is that gap between the 27 and the 73 as well. 32 seconds is the gap between the 27 and the number 1, and 17 seconds is the gap between the number 1 and the number 20 behind. The gap was smaller, I believe, beforehand, so the number 1 team doing a pretty good job regaining a little bit of that comfort zone in behind from this very fast pushing number 20 car here over the last few hours. We have now the 66 car for GT Finland Racing Team here, and currently sitting in 8th place, 30 seconds in behind that 20 car. Is that 30? 13, pardon me. Misinformation right here, hopefully. 13 seconds, and 37 seconds over the number 54 car of GTEC Esports, which we'll jump to right now. The 4 car is 2 minutes and 50 seconds ahead of the Ford Portugal All-Star Racing Ferrari. We'll jump to just in a moment. All-Stars team here, 2.5, almost 3 minutes in behind 9th place there, but almost 3 minutes to the good over the QRT Esports Porsche as well. So in no man's land right now, just really needs to focus in on putting in good quality, consistent laps around the racetrack and do as efficiently as quickly as possible. That's it. Sounds easy, right? It's never easy. It sounds easy. is closing between third and second place. Only 11 seconds now separating from that 303 and the 111 car. Just battling between these guys so far here, and this weekend as well, let me tell you what. 73 car is looking pretty good. Everybody is maintaining. 20 car is chipping away at the 1. And the 66 is slowly chipping away, I think, at the 20 car. Somebody's cooking food somewhere in the apartment building that I'm living in right now, and the smells coming in. I'm assuming like my vent hood or something. And it smells so good. I'm getting so hungry, chat. It's not even fair. I hate it when that happens. See pit stop starting to sequence through here again as well, by the looks of it now, as the race leader's coming around. Is he going to pit this time around? Yeah, he is. He has to. He's not going to let the field go anymore anyway. A big mistake if they tried to push out one more lap right there. He would definitely give up that 2 minutes real quick. Well, lobby is anyway. Alright, so we got a pit stop coming in from the 303 car here as well. That was a great shot from the guy putting the tire on. That was great timing to flip it over. And this is most likely going to be the final pit stops here for this racing sequence, for this driver swap sequence. But it is NWR Motorsports in the lead with a minute gap. We have the 111 car here, but 15 seconds currently over Matty. That's going to change. Obviously, the pit stops start to happen. Minute 19 is the 73 BMW here, and 14 seconds is gap to the 27 car. I apologize for the quiet delay here so far a little bit today, but again, I'm working on several things here behind the scenes as well, so we had to do another task while doing this task at the same time here. Gotta split our attention a little bit. I should be okay for the rest of the stint now, though. Again, I apologize for everybody's patience in the matter. I am currently completing the world qualifying tournament automobile game at the moment, as well as we're doing commentary here this weekend. It's just a little timing right now. So there's just times where I gotta absolutely just focus on that for 15-20 minutes and then back to what I'm doing. So thankfully it hasn't affected too much, except that just so I'm kind of seeing the pit stop starting to flow through here, so we're going to give it another lap or so here. Probably by the end of this lap from the race later, everybody's going to be at least to that point. And then we'll see where the gaps are sitting. So tire preference is going to make a difference, all those things. So it is rain, I see. Oh my. Rain on the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen. Will it stay dry, you ask? No, it will not. Yeah, rain coming down here as the 224 car comes through the carousel. So, I mean, in reality, can you show P3? No, they are not. So this says one of two things. They're aware of the weather radar, obviously, I would assume anyways. And it's just a very small cell moving through, and they figure it's worth just pushing through on the racing slicks. Oh, they just missed it. But if that's the case, every team missed it. So it tells me it's just a small cell, most likely rolling through. Based off my own experience with the game, that is. And it is only raining in one spot on the racetrack, it looks like, as well, so it's not all the way through the racetrack that the rain's coming down. Looks like it's literally just in that one particular spot. And again, we did say that it could be sunny in one area of the racetrack while it's raining on another, so that's the Nurburgring. That's the Nurburgring. But a very small little quick drizzle right there is all that was. Whatever moisture was in the area must have either just missed or it just hasn't arrived yet. 4 laps for a race leader, that is. Alright, you got 48 seconds between 111 car here right now. So that gap has definitely shrunk a little bit, I think. Minute 25 is the gap, obviously from second to first place. So using tire strategy here a little bit to gain time back on the racetrack. Smart strategy has got them back within under a minute and a half here again. And then it's a minute 23 between the 303 car and the 73 BMW here as well. So no time lost or gained right now between those two guys on the racetrack here. So the 73 car just doing a great job here right now in fourth place. Just can't quite find a way to chisel away at that gap at the moment. And does need to start thinking about this number 27 car here lurking in the background as well, 1.8 seconds, and closing every little bit here. So potential battle maybe here before the end as well between the two BMWs again. But the 27 car is definitely 11.3 seconds behind here, and the number 1 car is 39 seconds behind this battle right now. So they've gotten themselves back into the top half of the grid, but they still got lots of work to do if they want to get into that podium fight right now. As they are roughly about 2 minutes away from that first podium step here today. But moving and grooving and still choosing the grooving is the number 1 car. Gibberish on that. But they are doing well here. 10 seconds is the gap as well to the GT Finland Racing team behind here. But everybody's just kind of settling in and getting into these tires, as we like to call it as well. So we'll see the pace probably pick up a little bit quicker here as the stint continues on now. And only 1 second separating the 20 car from the 66 car here. So this is a battle for 7th place here between these two drivers. And I feel like the 20 car was ahead of the 66 car into pit stop sequence. So I feel like this was a pit stop position swap here. Now the 20 car is trying to get it back from the 66 car, I think is what's happening here. I think. Let's get back to the action here. The 20 car is absolutely closing in here. Going to be looking for the pass as we head up the back straight here. It's going to pull out with the slingshot there, and it's now a drag race heading into the final set of S's here, or triple S's, I guess we can almost call them. at the end of this back straight here. And he does get the job done, but it looks like there was going to be a response right there from the 66 car, but the 20 car closed the door on that real quick. No room all of a sudden there for that car to slip right into that little gap. He did try the 66 car, but no having it was his number 20 car. So Project 1 Racing number 20 car now up into 7th place here. And the gap is only 11 seconds to the number 1 car. So up ahead of the 66 car goes the number 20 car here. Tiergarten, we say. Tiergarten, that's right. And does Izele have any response here for the 20 car? It doesn't seem like it, but the stint is far from over yet. But boy, that 20 car. Here they go again. I told you, don't count that 20 car out. I keep telling everybody that. This weekend. 54 car in 9th place, 53 seconds in behind that absolutely flying mid-pack here right now. The mid-pack is absolutely stepped up a notch here in the latter part of this driver's stint for sure. The number 4 Portugal Esports team here, Ferrari sitting in 11th place. We'll sit here with these guys just for a minute as we will give them a whole lot of love to our last few cars here in this particular stint for no other reason than we just haven't spread the love that way. Looks like this is actually a blue flag situation here, so it's unfortunate. This is the love you're getting. I apologize, it wasn't planned like this, I swear. But the 2 Ferraris on track right here, nose to tail at the moment, so this is they had their lap back, I believe, after the pit stop sequence, and now this is essentially NWR trying to put them back a lap down after the pit stop again. So Portugal All-Star Racing Team getting back on the lead lap with that pit stop sequence, but now has to let that race leader by, and again, much of the same thing, finds an opening in a corner, getting a little bit of pressure from the race leader to get out of the way there, but he does manage to find a spot in the corner, nice and safe and sound, and again, the 224 car was ready to capitalize on that opening when it arrived, jumped right on through it, got around, and absolutely booking back up the racetrack there, so a little bit more of a neater and tidier, faster change over position between those 2 drivers this time around compared to the first time around, but a little bit of give and take needs to be given by both drivers in that situation on this racetrack, so no harm, no foul, everything was good to go there, and see the 2 Ferraris beside each other, they're playing together. Heyo, what's up there, man? And our QRT Esports team here sitting in 11th position right now, 2 minutes and 42 seconds in behind our racing team. Alright, so 1 minute 30 seconds is the gap now between the 224 and 111 Porsche. So again, some pit stop strategies coming into play here, and 30 seconds gained by the 111 count there with the current pit strategy they're running. The 303 car here, 47 seconds in behind that number 111 car here, slowly but surely just kind of chiseling away at that time gap, very small right now, but nonetheless still right there on pace with that collective group of leaders. The 73 car been maintaining that minute 22 gap basically all stint long. They haven't been able to gain anything, but they also haven't given anything away. So 73 still there in the hunt for sure, without a question of doubt, with roughly about 20-ish minutes left in this particular stint. And once I have the link, yeah, there is some big gaps here currently right now, but there's not some big gaps at the same time. I mean, there's only 8 seconds separating the 73 car and the 27 car here right now, and then 42 seconds, a little bit of a gap there to the number 1 car. We do have a couple of battles starting to develop here near the end. 10 seconds only separating the 1 and the number 20 right now, so the 20 is cooking. 4 seconds only separating the 20 and the 66 car, but we just seen the 20 pass the 66 car, so that's kind of opening the gap up on that car at this point. A little less than a minute now to the 54 car here in 9th place as well, so yeah, the back end definitely has some big gaps, but mid-pack's doing mid-pack things. What's up, Cupcake? How you doing, brother? Bit of minute 32 for NWR, pardon me, Motorsports here in that 224 Ferrari. They were tracking. By hour 4, they were already on the hunt for that first place position, and now they're just starting to try and run away with it. But again, like I said, a little bit of a call here from the 111 team here in OVO Esports that has gained them 30 seconds of that time back. So yeah, it's just quite interesting to see the big call coming from that camp. But I mean, good time to do it. I mean, if you do that 2 or 3 times, all of a sudden you're right back in that fight for first place here again. So drivers are being put to the test over there in the OVO, getting ready to commentate Stint 7. Love it, love it. Here we go. Going to be taking you right over to Cupcake. We love that. Cupcake's a great broadcaster here as well with the International Racing Organization, ladies and gentlemen. So you'll definitely enjoy the next couple of hours with Cupcake as well. And a little bit of a space going on here right now, but some of these guys are starting to close gaps and put some pressure on here. So. Anyway, again, ladies and gentlemen, keeping in mind these guys are some of the best drivers in the Gran Turismo 7 game right now on the racetrack here in this championship and on your screens here throughout the day today. So when you're at that level of the game, it's very hard to find that was actually tenths per second to close up the gaps as well. So it is, sometimes you do need 5 or 6 or 7 hours to close up 30 seconds of time on the opponent. I mean, that's just how competitive and how fairly equally skilled a lot of these races are in this split in this championship this season as well. So even a 5-second gap can be an insurmountable climb sometimes for these guys, but 10 seconds between number 1 and number 20 car here. Number 20 car has been seeming to find a way here so far in this race here this weekend. They find another gear all of a sudden near the end of a stint and start to just magic button in that car or something, and it just finds an extra half a second all of a sudden here and a half second there, and they're absolutely just cooking again. So they got the secret sauce going on. So I mean, not a lot has changed in the gaps essentially from the beginning of the stint to the end of the stint. It started out at about a minute 30 at the beginning of the stint here for the gap between first and second, and we're roughly finishing off right around that same point. The gap between, I believe, second and third place was a little around a minute, so I think there's been a little bit of time gained here from our 303 car on the 111 car overall in this stint, if my poor memory serves me correctly. It has let me down already today a couple times, so don't necessarily trust it. But a minute 21, I mean, that's stint pretty dead state solid. A minute 22, all stint long here between third and fourth place. Yeah, it really is. I couldn't agree more, Peme. I was trying to brighten up the screen a little bit for the viewers for this night stint, but it was just way too much glare. I had to turn it down a little bit, so brighten it up as much as we could so it was comfortable for you guys. In the 8-minute .622 here now, the fastest lap on the racetrack again by that 27 car here in the stint. I'm not sure if that's overall fast lap of the race right now currently, but that's definitely the fastest one I've seen so far here today. So a good lap there. And I did say that we'll see these guys break the 8-minute mark at some point within this race, I'm sure. Alright, so number 1 car now gaining a little bit of time back on the 20 car here. That was just about under 10 seconds. Now it's a little over, was just over 11 seconds there. And it's kind of sitting right at that 11-second mark. 8 seconds separating the 20 car and the 66 car of the GT Finland Racing Team here as well. 8th place, please, thank you, keyboard. And we just seen that battle happening about 10 minutes ago where the 20 car did manage to find a way around that 66 car. So 66 car falling back a little tiny bit here, but just one spot to the racetrack. 47 seconds is the gap on now there between them and the 54 car. But with that being said, that gap was minutes to 9th place, now under basically almost 47 seconds here now, just went under. So some good time gain there from the 54 car here recently on the 8th place car here as well. That takes us down to our number 4 Ferrari here from the Portugal All-Star team. 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes 40 seconds in behind that, the 9th place place car here currently. That gap has just slightly opened up on them a little bit here in the last part of this driver's stint. It's 2.5 minutes to the QRT Esports team, which is actually a pretty big gain for them because they were a little over 3 minutes behind that team at the beginning of the stint. So they're about 30 seconds gained here on that number 4 Ferrari up ahead as well. So some big gains for some teams, and some small gains for other teams here. Always glad to see you, Pammy. Always glad to see you, buddy. Always glad to see you. Alright, so now right back to where it was when we started the stint here, essentially. Over the 111 Porsche here right now. 111 Porsche has a 44-second gap over the third place 303 Porsche. That gap is a little bit smaller than when it started here in the stint, but still a pretty decent cushion nonetheless here. Cushion. I'm still going to call that a cushion. I'm not going to call that a comfortable gap by any stretch of the imagination right now. Hey, I appreciate you. Just make sure you're ready to go over to Cupcakes in like, 18 minutes or so, my dude. He'd be taking over the wheel, He's got the commentator booth at that point. He'll be the myth, the man, and the legend. We appreciate you, Payman. And GG's brother, I see the news in the Discord, so I won't say any more than that right now, but congrats, my man. I think I said something in there too about it, but I don't remember. It's been a hectic couple of weeks. Alright, 27 car. Ooh, 4.3 seconds. There we go. Getting some juicy going on here. That 27 car is tracking. It is tracking quickly on that 73 car. So the 73 car looked like he had things well in hand here for the remainder of the stint, but now he's about to see that other BMW car here on the racetrack starting to close in on the rear bumper here. I mean, he is just out of camera range from behind that number 73 car here right now, so 4.1 seconds, and it is dropping fairly steadily here, so we are going to be seeing potential battle for P4 here shortly. So we're going to be doing a quick little loop through the field here. We're going to get right back on top of that potential battle for 4th place. Battle of the BMWs coming here on the Nurburgring, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that's always good. You gotta like that. And I mean, the gap is closing quickly. I mean, it was 4 seconds, now it's 3.6, is that 3.65, 3.85 seconds. My eyes are blind. At 3.7, it was 3.8. Apparently I thought M was an N today too. Don't even get me started. We're having old person moments today, needless to say. Got to start putting sticky notes around my house here pretty soon, just to remind myself of not to do things. I'm telling you, it's coming. We're over the hill already. I didn't know that there was a stipulation about driving more than 3 stints in a race. I didn't realize that there was a limit to how much a driver could run. As long as the minimum amount of drivers required was met, I thought was what was going on here. But there might be something within the rules that I had missed from last season to this season as well. So I can't actually speculate and really give you a proper answer on that, my man. That's something that you'll have to go into the server and ask somebody with more knowledge on that about. I think as long as I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't want to give you any falsity of an answer or anything by accident. So I just recommend definitely going and seeking out somebody with more knowledge in that particular area of the rule book to answer your question for you. Alright, 3 seconds now is that gap. And definitely closing, so let's just go take a quick little run through the field here real quick. See what is brewing elsewhere. Not too much is brewing elsewhere at the moment. Oof, a little bit of a moment right there from our Portugal All-Star camp. Right back to this battle for 4th place here. Wow. I mean, Elite Racing Squad's not done anything wrong in this stint as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they've had great pace in this stint to literally stay exactly the same distance behind the 3rd place car here, who's basically closing in towards 2nd place, which means 4th place essentially is also closing in towards 2nd place. But that means that the 27 car here Inferno Motorsports has been driving just that much faster to close up the gap that was between themselves and the 73 car here. So solid run here from the 27 car right now, and as we have a couple laps to go, 1 lap to go before driver swap here at this point, there is potential battle for position here for 4th place before we get into pit lanes. So this is our final lap for the driver swaps. Once these drivers come across the start finish line, where are we right now? Yeah, we're on the back end of the racetrack here. So these guys will come around this high-speed sector, they'll go back up the back straight, and then they'll cross that start finish line. That will be the start of their there's just a beginning of the circuit there. Yeah, we still got 2 laps to go. I'm ahead of myself. Minute 44 is the gap here now between 1st and 2nd place, so it is growing again a little bit. 37 seconds now the gap between 2nd and 3rd place. And 3rd place is catching up to 2nd place. 7 seconds gained roughly there, which means again 4th place is gaining that same amount of time because that gap has stayed very consistent. That 3rd place they're 2nd to the good in a sense right now, but that also means that the 27 car is most certainly closing in, as he is almost now in the slipstream of that 73 car up in front of him here. So 1.1 seconds is the gap right now, not quite inside slipstream range yet, but very, very close here to being able to grab some free air from that car in front here. And we always seem to get a battle before the end, always here. Drivers just love to treat us good here at GT45 Gaming and give us some action right when it counts the most. So, alright, I believe that link is most likely posted already, so we're going to get that up in the pinned comments here. So in the pinned messages there is that link for the stint number 7 over on Cupcake's channel there. So all you gotta do is once this stint is done, you're watching your favorite driver come into pit lane, is just click on that link in the pinned comment. It'll take you directly to your stint number 7 broadcast, so you won't have to look for it at all. It'll just take you right on over there. And appreciate y'all for watching that are still here, and for those that are jumping over, enjoy the broadcast on Cupcake side of things there. But battle time here, as this is a hot official battle for 4th place overall here currently in the race, and it is between the 27 car and the 73 car, both the BMWs here on the track today. Now fighting it out for that 4th position here as we get very close to driver swap time on the racetrack there. Ooh, a big move right there. He puts the power down early and gets the job done. So the 27 car absolutely sends that car on the outside and gets that pass made on the 73 car. We will take another look at that in just a moment's time, but just going to see if there's a response coming from our 73 driver here, and I don't think there's going to be here right now. I think he's just going to try and keep that thing real close. Maybe there's a mistake made, he gets an opportunity, but with this much time left before the driver swap there, it's all about not giving up any extra time on that car. He's clearly very quick right now. Try to tuck in, try to stay in the slipstream, try to follow him through, try to maximize on that opportunity to gain that time back yourself just by following him through as well. So let's take a second look at that here. That was a big move. He got a good run there. He swept it out on the outside and slammed the loud pedal down there. You can see the little wiggle when he put the throttle down there and got in just before the entry of the carousel and had to cook it into the carousel there, but he really got that BMW to hook up like a rail around that carousel there. And that was a great job right there by the 27 car. Calculated pass, not a lot of room, not a lot of time to make it happen, and on the outside part of the exit, very tough maneuver to make there. And managed to get all that done in a short, about, I want to say 225 meters. Some spicy racing right there from the BMW camps here at the Nurburgring 24-hour today. We always love to see that late race action like that, or late stint action in this case. Still 12 hours of the race left to go, yeah. Here for a QRT sports car right now, on almost a minute now gained on that 10th place car, so it's definitely some confidence building happening right there in that 64 camp right now as they continue to close up that gap for position on the racetrack. And I mean, that's why you just keep pushing. Alright, minute 46 here is the gap, and we are officially on that driver swap entry lap here for our 224 car. I believe we are also on that driver entry lap for our number 111 team here as well. They are minute 46 behind the race leader currently, and a little bit of rain dropping on this part of the racetrack here right now. You can see the raindrops coming down as the 303 team also comes through on lap number 16 here. So again, the pit entry lap now underway. A little bit of rain on the GP circuit here right now on the racetrack, and let's see if that catches any of these drivers out as they're coming around here. We have the 27 car here now coming right into that area where the rain was starting to fall, and let's see if a little bit of a slam down there again. That bump coming into turn number 1 there and into turn number 2 can upset all these cars there, but it doesn't seem to the moisture doesn't seem to be affecting the cars at all. It's very little on the racetrack. Does not even full registering. That's 33% moisture currently on the meter in that section of the racetrack, so pretty dry for the racing tires still as far as that goes. And just a couple of little sprinkles here on the racetrack in this stint from the Nurburgring 24-hour. Mother Nature just teasing everybody a little bit, making sure that they're on their toes here in this 24-hour event this weekend. So number 1 car is 46 seconds in behind that 5th place driver here currently after that battle. And it looks like wet stint was called there by race official as well, so tire mandates now. I'm not sure what the deal is on that, so I'm actually not going to say anything further about that either. 9 seconds is the gap between the number 1 car and the number 20 Project 1 racing team here, so they've done a great job of continuing their applied pressure here and try to close up that gap in under 10 seconds now to the defending champions from the 2025 season here at Esports Races Island Car. And they have 27-second gap now over the 66 car here that they passed, I want to say 40 minutes ago, maybe a little more. Minute 10 is the gap now between the 66 and the 54 Porsche here as well on the racetrack. And then we've got 2 minutes 58 seconds between the 54 and the number 4, and then 2 minutes and 4 seconds between the 4 and 64. That's a lot of 4s, isn't it, Joe? Alright, we're going to stay with the race leader here. He's got about a third of the racetrack left right now. It's the more speedy third of the racetrack at this point as well. But the 324 NWR Motorsport team here is getting ready to bring this Ferrari home for driver swap here. To hand it over to the next capable man or woman to pilot this machine around this absolutely treacherous racetrack for the next couple hours of their life, and with the race lead. So always good coming out in front of the pack, but also lots of pressure leading the race here. You don't have to be the fastest driver on the racetrack to win a race, and that's showing here. The fastest lap is 2 seconds faster than the current fastest lap of the current race leader here in the Stint as well. So sheer pace isn't always everything, especially when it comes to long distance racing, and that starts to really show in these 12 and 24 hour races, especially on these really technical racetracks like Nurburgring. It just starts to show. The rain coming down again. Mother Nature again, just taunting these drivers a little bit apparently. Starting to come down pretty good here too, so this could make things a little bit interesting right at the end of this pit entry lap here. So and the 224 car now heading into their pit stall here. And you can see, yes sir. Good, everybody's just holding on right now. The track is very slippery in this sector of the racetrack here right now. You can see even the 111 car here really showing some caution over the last few corners there. A little extra braking, a little extra lifting off the throttle a little earlier. Really not firing this thing around the optimal line around the corner right now. They realize that the track is a little bit sketchy for the tires that are going on in this particular part of the racetrack, and are driving very accordingly here right now. So they realize it's going to cost some time. Unfortunately, it is going to cost some pretty valuable time here. You can see it really sliding up there, just keeping the car on the racetrack at that point in time. And I mean, he's battling right now just to keep this thing on the tarmac here in certain parts of his corners. So I'm sure he's going to be pretty happy to get this thing into the pit box here, because Mother Nature is starting to throw a monkey wrench into the program on the races, and she did it right at the end. It always, that's the way it always goes. Lost a little bit of time there, unfortunately, for the second place team here, the number 111 car there, having to navigate a little bit of treacherous part of the racetrack there, where the race leader got through just in the nick of time, so to speak. So, I mean, that's just the way it goes when you're in endurance racing. Alright, so our 111 car now entering pit lane, so that brings our 303 car next to come in as he's heading up the back straight here right now. And everybody's starting to kind of roll up on that more wet section of the racetrack here right now. Alright, 303 car is in, so that's our number 27 for BMW next here. 439 overall behind the race leader here as the pit lane anyway. And as they continue to get around line, timing sectors will continue to adjust slightly. So the 27 car here will be next to come in and hand it off to their respective teammate, whoever that may be, next to take the wheel. Alright, 27 car now heading into pit lane here. That makes our 73 car next in line. He's only 11 seconds behind here, so he's just coming through that S set of corners here, and he's going to be ripping into pit lane here. And 11 seconds is that gap right there, so that's fairly close there. We'll see how close that is when they come out there. After driver swap, fuel, tires, all those things will factor into what that gap really is as they come up running. 11 seconds, 16 seconds in behind is that number 1 car, so they actually closed up a little bit there on that group as well. And then that brings our number 20 Project 1 racing car 15 seconds behind. So about to switch over. Good seeing you, brother. Cheers, Bayman. Appreciate you, my dude. Alright, so number 20 car in for Project 1 Racing. Now it is the GT Finland number 66 Porsche next to come up the track here to bring that thing into pit lane and send it home to his teammate here to take over that car. These cars at this point are going to be very, very tired, very, very hot, very, very clanky and clunky, and midway through the race, that's what you'd expect at these cars at these speeds. And the rain is starting to come back down a little bit here for some of the drivers that are still navigating the remainder part of this racetrack here, and it's getting a little bit dicey. Lots of damage here on the 54 car right now. Front arrow, rear arrow, and the whole right side steering is in pretty rough shape here. So a larger movement perhaps from the 54 car here. A little bit of work to do to that car in the pit lane here, but ooh, here we go, a tough moment in the grass. Manages to keep it underneath of him there. And I bet you this is a driver that is just none too happy to get this thing off of this racetrack right now, as, ooh, that was scary moments for the 54 car right there, as almost went for a little slide into Barry over on the left hand side of the corner there. Ooh. And the wet racetrack with those wore out racing tires plus a little bit of damage on the racing car definitely making it tough here for the 54 cars. He's just right there. He's just got to get it over to the left here, get that thing into pit lane, and he can finally call it a driver's stint there. A tough way to finish that stint there, but not the only one stuck in that weather here right now. As we got the number 4 Ferrari here now battling the conditions here as well. Going for a ride. Ooh, hangs on to it. Good save. Oh man, this is a rough finishing lap here for the number 4 car. Absolutely struggling caught out on that wet racetrack right now. Alright, home stretch here for the Ferrari. I'm sure he's happy to see that as well. Oh, that was not what he was looking for there, but he got himself in a little bit of trouble under braking there. And definitely seeing some guys struggle here with the wet conditions on those racing slick tires. It's not easy. It makes it very, very sketchy, especially even under braking. You just catch a little bit of water in the wrong spot, and that's the cause and effect of it right there. We just saw what happens when you catch water in the wrong spot. You just gotta try and back it off a little bit and hope that it holds in line essentially. But it's tough when you're coming down at 160 miles an hour and you gotta rear the car back too at the same time, right? So yeah, definitely easy to make a mistake right now with conditions. good job here, QRT Esports. So. He's still running his lap, man. I think he's just reminding him that he has to pick this up. Oh, a little mistake right there. Alright, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. All 12 cars in for driver swap. Well, 11 because one's behind the wall, but we'll see the number 7 car back out in stint number 7. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hope y'all enjoyed the hours number 11 and 12 here from the International Racing Organization. I was your host, GT45 Gaming. We'll be back in 6 hours' time to do stint number 10, I believe it is. We love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Stay winning. You all matter. And we'll see you in a few hours' time. Enjoy the next couple hours of racing here by Cupcake and I believe Molander. Take it from the International Racing Organization. Ciao for now.
It's time to end the show. The stream is over, I got to go. Now is not the time to be sad. I'll be back, there's more streaming to be had. GT45 will bring the best with an entertainment fest, where friends are made and good times never fade. Soon it will be time again to kick the tires and light the fires and stay winning, hey winning, hey winning, hey winning, hey winning.